So let me just point out where we are. That kind of might help. I've got a satellite image and a map. They're both in the same area. You can look at either one. I'll use the map down here. We're about right here. This is the Mississippi River. This is Lake Pontchartrain up here. This is Lake Bourne. Lake Bourne's really not a lake. This is Louisiana, so there's lots of problems with terminology in Louisiana, right? It's really an estuary, and an estuary it's open to the Gulf of Mexico. Lake Pontchartrain is also open to the Gulf of Mexico, so in reality it's really an estuary as well. Here's New Orleans is here. On the other side of the river, that's the West Bank. Does that make sense? I told you, we're in Louisiana. That's on the south side of the river mostly. There's a bridge that goes over. See that bridge there? That goes from the east bank to the west bank. Does that make sense?
No.
There's another bridge over here, right there, that goes from the east bank to the west bank. Both bridges go to the east to get to the west bank. So that's another point altogether. All right, so there's a series of canals on here that are going to become important to our discussion. The first of these is a canal that was cut in the 1920s, which is the Industrial Canal. That's on the other side of this flood wall. Okay? And it was cut as a navigation canal to connect Lake Pontchartrain up here to the Mississippi River, which meant that you can take ships and connect the two, so that in the old days, when ships weren't as big, you could come into Lake Pontchartrain and get into the port of New Orleans, which is all along the Mississippi River here, by coming through the Industrial Canal. In the 1940s, the canal was cut along here into the Industrial Canal, which again then connects to the Mississippi River, which is called the Intercoastal Waterway. And that canal was cut so that you could have ship traffic running along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico and not have to fear getting sunk by enemy submarines during World War II. Then in the 1960s, another navigation canal was cut, this canal here, called the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet, often abbreviated Mr. GO, in order to allow ship traffic to come into the port of New Orleans without having to wind its way up the winding Mississippi River to get into the port of New Orleans. This one becomes important because while that canal was being cut by the Army Corps of Engineers, the idea was that it was going to become an economic boon to New Orleans because it was going to allow much more ship traffic into the port of New Orleans. But the people in St. Bernard Parish, which is down here, you guys are staying in St. Bernard Parish down there, said, look, what that's going to do is it's going to allow storm surge to come up into the Industrial Canal and potentially flood St. Bernard Parish whenever there's a hurricane. And sure enough, right after it was finished in 1965, Hurricane Betsy, which took a path up this way, outside the map area, the winds circulate this way and blew storm surge into this area, up the Mississippi River Gulf Outlet, into Lake Bourne, and funneled it in here, and all of this area around the Industrial Canal flooded.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can we define storm surge again?
Storm surge is the rise in sea level due to the hurricane pushing against the ocean. Pushes it against
the wall of water.